It took me 14 years before I attended my first 9/11 related funeral of a friend and coworker. Also in 2015 was the first 9/11 memorial that I attended. Prior to this, I was emotionally and mentally unable to attend all those funerals and memorials of friends and coworkers for the previous years. So please be patient and understanding, as I expect I will struggle delivering my thoughts today. In preparing my thoughts on what I was about to say, I struggled with the reason why I was here to speak and the message I needed to deliver. But I also struggled with why I was allowed to survive 16 years ago today, a day that was designed and orchestrated by evildoers to destroy our culture and eliminate our freedoms. Am I here to represent the victims of the families of September 11th, 2001, or all the citizens of the United States? Possibly I should be the voice of the wonderful, diverse people of the state of New York to whom I serve. Or am I representing Andrew Cuomo, the governor of the great state of New York, for whom I work? We are here as a remembrance to the approximately 3,000 victims murdered on September 11, 2001 in Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania, and New York. Slightly over 1,700 of those victims were residents of New York or New York State. Perhaps I shall represent the first responders who answered the call with me on that tragic day to do what they were trained to do, to enter the breach and protect and save lives. Or the brave civilians, some untrained, some medical personnel, iron workers, sandhogs, and first responders who worked on the pile with me, helping to locate survivors that first week. Unfortunately, without much success. Could I just represent the cops and firemen who for weeks and months after September 11th sifted through the debris in order to find some human remains or identifiable DNA to give closure to a surviving family member? Possibly I could represent those uniformed and civilian first responders still dying today from 9/11 related illnesses. Or maybe, just maybe, I could represent the less than 3% of Americans who enlisted to serve in the American Armed Services, such as the U.S. Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, and Coast Guard, deploying overseas, some in Iraq and Afghanistan, to fight the war on terror with our allies from the international community. I believe it is worth noting that over 550 of the September 11 victims were born outside the United States of America. So as I prepared this, I pondered why I was able to walk away uninjured 16 years ago and I still have no answer. But I did discover what I'd wanted to represent, not only those people I mentioned above, but anyone and everyone from the free world who understands the type of evil that was forced upon us that day and are willing to do what it takes to fight it. I believe it is important to mention one does not need to fight evil in a military or police uniform. Evil can be fought in many ways, through education, communication, and noble service to his fellow man. And it is here that I discovered my message. We, as members of the free world, want to thank everyone here for remembering the victims of all the terrorist attacks worldwide, not just in America or in Israel, but in France, United Kingdom, Belgium, Turkey, Canada, and Spain, and those in Asia and Africa, with this memorial on the 16th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. But most of all, we, the members of the free world, want to thank you for being in the fight. By attending this summit today on counterterrorism, you show your commitment to the fight, to learn the innovative tactics from the IDF, the Mossad, or the London police. Your openness to learn the best practices from the United Nations, France, and the Netherlands reinforces your duty to fight evil with as many tools as you can. As a member of the free world, we must work together, learn from one another, communicate what we know to each other as soon as we can, because we're all in this fight together. Thank you for being here to commemorate this day, and thank you for what you bring to the fight.